That's fine. Hi everyone, my name is Sidharth Gupta. Clarification, I'm the co-founder of Treebo Hotels. In our organization, we don't have CXO titles, so I'm not the CEO. Very happy to be here. Just a quick background on me. I'll probably talk about three things. I'll take 5 minutes if that's okay, and then we'll move to questions. Yeah, so I'll keep it short, just 5 minutes. I'll try and quickly cover three things, a very brief overview of my journey so far, what I've done. Second, I'll talk a little bit about how we decided to launch Treebo and why, because I get that question a lot as to how you arrived at this particular idea. And third, I'll probably talk a little bit about what we do at Treebo, and then happy to answer any questions. So, quick introduction. I started my professional journey, so to say, with a company called McKinsey. In fact, that's where I spent most of my professional career working. I was a McKinsey consultant for about 5.5, 6 years or so. I joined McKinsey. I'm going to just go backwards in time from there. I joined McKinsey from IIM Bangalore, where I did my MBA. So Bangalore has been second home for me for a very long time. And prior to IIM Bangalore, I worked briefly with Tata Motors, and prior to that, I did my engineering from IIT Roorkee. Pradeep, of course, has been very kind to allow me to be part of an IIT Kharagpur Kanpur alumni event, the first time I'm doing that. After McKinsey, I spent about a few months, just 3 months literally, at Myntra, where I was co-leading the strategy team, working closely with Mukesh, who was the founder CEO. And early last year, which was in 2015, is when me and a couple of my friends came together to launch Treebo. Now, I've been asked to talk a little bit about the journey that I went through and why and how of starting our own venture. So when we were at Myntra, it was one of those evenings when me and my good friend Rahul, who's one of my co-founders now, and he was also with me at Myntra, we had several discussions over the multiple years that we have known each other. He's also from IIT Roorkee. Both my co-founders are also from IIT Roorkee. We are, one batch, here and there. So we've known each other for a very long time. And we've, over the years, have had several discussions that, hey, we want to start something of our own. It's going to be super exciting. We can solve interesting problems, etc. But never really got to do anything about it. But it was one fine evening back in January 2015 where we took the call that was, it's either now or never, and we will either not talk about starting up anymore, or we'll just go ahead and do it. So the next day we told the people we were working with that, look, we're gonna move on. We want to do something of our own. And that was 16th January, and 30th of January we were out of Myntra. And at that time we didn't know what we were going to do. We had no concrete idea, and in that sense probably we were a little different from a lot of other entrepreneurs who have a burning desire to solve a specific problem, and that's what they go after, and that's what gets them to start out. In our case, it was just a general desire to do something of our own and not to specifically work on a particular idea only. So end of January, when we moved out of Myntra, we didn't know what we were going to do. All that we knew was that we were going to start a venture of our own together. And therefore, the first thing we did after leaving Myntra was to go buy whiteboards. And our homes became our offices, and we used to spend our time at one of our places. And we used to just do whiteboard problem solving every day, where we would list down a whole host of opportunities. We would list down various industries, various sectors where there could be opportunities to build an interesting business. And over the next 6 to 8 weeks, that's all we did. We met a lot of people. We attended a lot of events like this. We spoke to a lot of entrepreneurs. We spoke to a lot of our mentors. And we read up a lot on what's happening in the startup world in general, not just in India, but in the Valley as well. And finally, on the basis of all of that discussion, all of that problem solving, we finally arrived at the idea of starting Treebo. How we did that? Well, we looked for 3 things in the idea that we wanted to pursue, that we wanted to devote our lives to. And the 3 things were that A, it should be a large market opportunity. Somehow it was just a personal preference for us that we would not want to play in a market which is very niche or which needs to still be created. We wanted to play in a large market, in an opportunity which has a large existing market. Hotels, as you would imagine, is obviously a huge market in India. It's about a $20 billion market. So that was one. The second criterion that we applied was that we should have a personal connect with the problem. because we knew that unless we feel for the problem personally, we would not have the passion and the commitment to solve it. And Treebo solves the problem of poor quality in budget hotel accommodation. And as people who've grown up in middle-income families, as student travelers, we had stayed at a lot of these budget hotels which provided horrible, horrible quality. And we had been in those situations ourselves, and therefore we definitely felt that deep personal connect with the problem, which we found was very important in building a business. And the third criterion we applied was whether or not our natural skills and abilities align with the business that we are trying to build. And I think that's also a very important criterion to keep in mind. A lot of times, and even when we were starting out, there were a lot of choices in front of us which would have, let's say, been a pure tech product company, a pure product company. We had this fascination, hey, what if we could build the WhatsApp of India, right? And a lot of people think that if you could build a business like WhatsApp, it'll be awesome, because you need very few people, you build a fantastic technology, and then you sell it off for $20 billion. But we were clear that that's not who we are. That's not where our capabilities lie. I was a mechanical engineer, Rahul was a metallurgical engineer, and at that point in time, we didn't have a third co-founder who's the real techie. So we were clear that between the two of us, we do not have the skill set needed to build a pure tech product company. And therefore, we were clear that our skills lie in operations, in sales and marketing, in building organizations, because that's what we had done in our prior roles. And that was the third criterion we applied. So at the intersection of these three criteria lie this opportunity that we finally went after, and we launched this company called Treebo Hotels. What is Treebo? Treebo is country's first and probably the only brand in the budget hotel segment. We are trying to build the Marriott of budget hotels. We are clear that today's consumer is very alert, very aware, and is rightfully so looking for quality and looking for value for money in every expense area. But that opportunity was not available to the consumer in the budget hotel segment. How many of you have stayed at hotels where you paid, let's say, just about 2,000 rupees or so for a room night? I was told there are a lot of entrepreneurs in this room, so unless you are like super rich entrepreneurs, I would expect to see a lot of hands go up. So and all of you would have seen the kind of quality you get when staying at a mom and pop standalone budget hotel, because the guy running that shop is not really a professional, not really a career hotelier. He's a businessman, and he's running it like a business because he happens to also have a real estate business, and therefore for the 20-room property that he had, he made a hotel out of it. And that's what comprises almost 1 million rooms in the country. So we're building a brand. I'm running out of time. So to really capture the essence of what Treebo is, I could also say we are building the McDonald's of hotels. So just in the way that back in 1995, you could have never imagined that you could get quality at affordable prices. And the CEO of a large corporation and a lower middle income class guy could eat out of the same place, but McDonald's made it happen. That's exactly what we're trying to do with hotels with Treebo. Sorry for running over. I'll stop here and probably take any questions, if at all.
A big round of applause for Sidharth for sharing his story. Any questions? We can take one question quickly.
A hotel typically is a very large capital kind of business. So what was your model kind of creating a process franchisee for all the other existing hotels, like a Best Western kind of a thing? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it was hard because it's a segment where franchisee is hard to make work. So that's where we use a lot of technology. It's an asset-light, franchise-based model. Thanks. Can we take another question?
Hi. I'm just curious, is this picture from a budget Treebo hotel?
Oh, not at all. No, not at all. Clearly, the sponsorship team for the event has been very kind to put up a very flattering picture. This is not a Treebo, not at all. This is not what our properties look like. What they do look like, of course, is something very pleasant and welcoming. Would encourage you to try it out and give us some feedback, but that's not us.
Thank you, Sidharth. Thank you so much. Swati?